Where are we? What is going on? Just give me a minute, 1 minute. I need to trace out, starting from text 40. Namatara. Shrikurmaha. Mantravatara. Bhavatara. Aveshatvam kalkinopi. Okay, got it. Is the screen shared? Yes, I'm sharing the screen. All right. Why am I hearing an echo? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aveshatvam kalkinopi Vishnudharme vilokyate. Why this is not? It is seen in the Vishnudharma Purana that Lord Kalki is also an Avesha incarnation. Yatha Pratyaksha Rupadhrid Devo. Wait, why not? To see. यथा प्रत्यक्ष रूपधृग् देवो दृश्यते न कलौ हरिः कृतादिष्विव तेनैव त्रियुगः परिपठ्यते. The Supreme Lord Hari manifests his own form in the 3 ages beginning with Satya Yuga but not in Kali Yuga. Thus he is called Triyuga. Okay. Pratyaksha Rupadhrig Devo. Yes. Okay, that's a commentary here. So in the 3 yugas, the Supreme Lord is directly perceived as a Supreme Lord, but not in the age of Kali. Therefore, he is called Triyuga. Nachaivam Krishna Chaitanyasya Pratyaksha Rupatvam na syaditi vachyam. So from this one cannot say that Krishna Chaitanya is not directly, his form is not directly perceived. Tasya Kali Yuga avataratva abhavat. Prati Kali Krishna Varno avatara smaryate. Such a jiva vishesha. Kali visheshe tu garbhotaha pitaha sakshad ishvara eva. Because he is not actually the Kali Yuga avatar. And in every Kali Yuga, there is an avatar who is black complexioned, as noted in the Smriti, and that is a specific living entity, a jiva, a limited living entity. In a particular Kali Yuga, there is the yellow incarnation, as pointed out by Garga, and that is Sakshadishvara Eva, that is directly the Lord himself. Tada Krishna Varnas Tatra Pravishta iti Sarvam Sustham. Now that time, this Krishna Varna incarnation, the Shaktiyavesha incarnation, the living entity who comes in Kali Yuga, he enters into Lord Chaitanya's body. So everything has been properly stated in the scriptures. Ata iti amishu kumaradishu kalkyanteshu panchasu. Okay. This statement of the Vishnu Dharma Purana does not indicate that Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not manifest his own form in Kali Yuga. The avatar for Kali Yuga is usually a specially appointed jiva who, according to Smriti Shastra, generally has a blackish complexion. Lord Chaitanya, however, appears in just one specific Kali Yuga out of the 1,000 in each day of Brahma. He is the Pitavarna form of the original Supreme Lord mentioned by Gargamuni in Bhagavatam in the 10th canto. When he descends, the Krishna Varna Avesha incarnation for Kali Yuga unites with him. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gopinath Acharya explained to, what did I do wrong? Why this thing is not fully? Okay, wait. Then the only other way is I'll have to switch between each. That's the only way. You'll have to tolerate me for that. I'll have to keep switching between these two. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gopinath Acharya explained to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya why Shastra says that the Supreme Lord incarnates in only 3 of the 4 ages. Kalerante cha samprapte kalkinam brahma vadinam anupravishya kurute vasudevo jagat sthitam. At the end of Kali Yuga, Lord Vasudeva enters Kalki, a devotee of the absolute truth, to maintain universal order. पूर्वोत्पन्नेषु भूतेषु तेषु तेषु कलौ प्रभुः कृत्वा प्रवेशं कुरुते यद्यभिप्रेतमात्मनः इति. During Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord fulfills his purposes by entering various living beings who have already been born. Ato mi shvavataratvam param syat aupacharikam. To conclude, the Aveshas are considered surrogate avatars. They are figuratively considered avatars, not in the literal sense. The Avesha incarnations this statement refers to are the Kumaras, Prithu, Kumaras, Narada, Prithu, Parashurama, and Kalki. That's straight from Sri Baladevi Devushan. So go back. That's a Prabhava Vaibhavaha. Prabhava Vaibhavanam Ubhayesham Samanya Lakshanam Hariti. The Prabhava and Vaibhava forms of the Lord have certain common characteristics, and they will be dealt with in the next text. Atha Prabhava Vaibhavaha Hariswarupa Rupaye Paravastebhya Unakaha Shaktinam Taratamyena Kramate Tattadakhyakaha. Next, the Prabhava and Vaibhava incarnations. The Vaibhava and Prabhava forms of Lord Hari exhibit progressively less potency than the Paravastha forms. Both the Prabhava and Vaibhava forms of the personality of Godhead reveal less of the Lord's glory than his para forms. The Vaibhava incarnations appear with more potency than the Prabhava incarnations. Tesham bhedakam aha shakti iti Prabhaveshu alpaha shaktayaha Vaibhaveshu tebhyaha adhika asta ityarthaha. So the Vaibhava forms, they manifest more potencies than the Prabhava forms. Prabhavaschad vidha tatra drishyante shastra chakshusha eke nati chiravyakta nati vistrata kirtayatha te mohini cha hamsascha shukla dyascha yuganuga. The Prabhava incarnations are divided into 2 categories as revealed by the scriptures. One kind does not remain manifest for very long and does not gain much renown, fame. This kind includes Mohini and Hamsa as well as Shukla and the other Yuga incarnations. Prabhavan Vibhajati. Now he subdivides the Prabhava forms. Vibhajakan dharmanaha eke nati chirastha mohinyane shat. This includes Mohini and Hamsa, that refers to 6 incarnations beginning with Mohini. This category of less famous short-term incarnations include the other 3 Yugavataras whom Gargamuni described as Rakta, Pita and Krishna, not the Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. चिरस्थितयः मुनिचेष्टितास्तु धन्वन्त्यादयः पंच. Okay, then we are coming to the next one. अपरे शास्त्रकर्तार प्रायस्युर्मुनिचेष्टिता धन्वन्त्यर्षभौ व्यासो दत्तश्च कपिलश्च ते. The other kind of Prabhava incarnation compiles scriptures and acts in the role of a sage. Mostly compiles scriptures and acts in the role of a sage. Prayaha. This kind includes Dhanvantari, Rishabha, Vyasa, Dattatreya, and Kapila. Chirasthitayaha iti ubhaye ami ekadasha prabhava. Like other sages, these Prabhava incarnations live long lives. These 5 plus the 6 in the previous subcategory make a total of 11 Prabhava avatars. सामान्यतो लक्षितान् वैभवान् विशिष्य aha acha स्यूरति. So he had given a general characterization of the Vaibhava forms. Now he presents specific details. Athasyur Vaibhavavasthas Techa Kurmo Jhashadipraha Narayano Narasakha Srivaraha Hayanano Krishnigarbha Pralambakno Yagyadyascha Chaturdasha Ityami Vaibhavavastha Ekavimshatir Irita. The following 21 incarnations are considered Vaibhava Avastha. Kurma, the fish lord, Matsya. Narayana, the friend of Nara. Varaha, Hayashirsha. Hayashirsha is Hayagriva avatar. Vishnigarbha, the killer of Pralamba, that is Lord Balaram. And the 14 incarnations beginning with Yagya. Narayana Narasakhayo Aikyat Ekavimshatir Ityukti Sangachate. Because Narayana and Nara they are two friends and they are counted together. Therefore, totally, it has been said that there are 21 incarnations. Therefore, this is appropriate. Yagyadya Manvantara Avatar. Lords Nara and Narayana are two individuals, one a Jiva and the other Vishnu Tattva, but they are always counted as a single incarnation. The 14 Manvantara incarnations beginning with Yagya are also in the Vaibhava category. Tatra Kroda Hayagriva Navavyuhantaroditau Manvantara Avatareshu Chatvarah Pravarastatha Te tu Sri Hari Vaikunthau Tathaiva Jitavamanau Shaddami Vaibhavavastha Paravastho Pamamata. Among the Vaibhava Avastha incarnations, the following 6 are considered almost equal to the Lord in his Paravastha forms. Lord Bod and Hayagriva. Hayagriva same as Hayashirsha, who are mentioned among the 9 Vyuhas, plus the 4 greatest Manvantara avatars. Avatars, mistake. There should be a dash here, no dash here. Namely, Sri Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, and Vamana. Amongst the 21 Vaibhava forms, the forms beginning with Varaha are special. These 6 of the 21 Vaibhava avatars are especially potent and glorious. The 9 Vyuha expansions are listed here. Chatvaro Vasudevadya, Narayana Nrsimha Kau, Hayagrivo Mahakrodo, Brahmacheti Navodita. The 9 personalities mentioned are the 4 beginning with Vasudeva, and also Narayana, Nrsimha, Hayagriva, the great boar, and Brahma. This Brahma is not the living entity, Brahma, or about the Brahma post. This is the Supreme Lord. In his instructions to Sanatan Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the Prabhava and Vaibhava divisions of his original Swayam Rupa, Prabhava Prakash and Vaibhava Prakash, and his Vilasa expansions, Prabhava Vilas and Vaibhava Vilas. The explanation of Krishna's Swayam Rupa and Vilasa forms is recorded in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeshamchit dhamani vaishishthya avarodhaya vachyani. Some of their forms should be described. Sorry, some of their abodes, dhams. Yeshamchit desham sthanani likhyante shastra drishtitaha yatra yatra virajante yani brahmanda madhyataha Vishnu dharmottaradinam vakyam tatra pramanyate. According to the vision of the revealed scriptures, we will write about some of the residential places manifested by some of these incarnations in the material universe. This evidence comes from statements of the Vishnu Dharmottara and other Puranas. This comment is by Sri Gopi Brahman Prabhu. That the Vaibhava Avastha incarnations have permanent abodes in this world is evidence that they are more prominent than the Prabhava Avastha incarnations. Tathahi tasyoparishtad aparas tavaneva pramanataha mahatale tivikhyato rakta bhaumascha panchamaha sarovaram bhavet tatra yojananam dasha yuktam swayam cha tatra vasati kurmarupad harihi. For example, above that region is another region of the same size with reddish ground. This is Mahatala, the 5th Patala region. There, in a wonderful lake, 100,000 yojanas across, lives Lord Hari in his Kurma form. That region mentioned at the beginning of this verse is the subterranean heaven, Talatala. Tasyoparishtad aparas tavaneva pramanataha tatraste sarasi divya yojananam shatatrayam tasyam sa vasate devo matsyarupadharo harihi. Above that is another region of the same size where there is a divine lake 300 yojanas across. In that lake lives the Supreme Lord Hari in his Matsya form. You can see this from Vishnu Dharmottara. See. Para is Rasatala. Tasyoparishtad aparas. Okay, higher than that is Rasatala actually. That another region of the same size refers to Rasatala. Narayanasyaha Narayana ityarthakena. There's the form of Narayana. Narayano Narasakho Vasate Badari Pade. Narayana, the friend of Nara, lives in the place called Badari Nath. Narakara Varahasyaha. Then there's a form of Varaha, human-like form of Varaha. That is described now. Nirvarahasya vasatit maharloke prakirtita yojananam pramanena ayutanam shatatrayam. Nirvaraha's residence, 3 million yojanas in circumference, is said to be on Maharloka. Nirvaraha is the form of Lord Varaha as half man, half bow. Ayutani cha, okay. Then Shesha. Ayutani cha Panchashat, Shesha Sthanam Manoharam. The next abode, charming Lord, like Lord Sheshas, is, why does it say charming like Lord Sheshas? The next abode belongs to Lord Shesha. It's 500,000 yojanas in circumference. Okay. Asa Sheshasyaha Yutani cha Ityarthakena. This charming abode belongs to Ananta Shesha according to Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan. Let's wait and see. Saeva loko varaha katitastu swayam prabha. Saeva loko varaha katitastu swayam prabha. Lokoyam manda samlagna sarva thastan manoharaha. Varaharupi Bhagavan Shweta Rupadharo Vasat. Known as Varahaloka, this self-effulgent attractive world sits below all the other planets and touches the shell of the universe. Here the Supreme Lord has taken up residence in his white Varaha form. The abode of Lord Varaha, Chatushpad Varahasyaha Sayeveti Sarthake. This Varaha is Varaha with 4 legs. Sheshasthana Samaha. His abode is similar, is equal to the abode of Shesha. According to Sri Vishnu Dharmottara, this abode of the 4-legged Lord Varaha lies below the 7 Patala regions and the planet of Kalagni Rudra. Where is all that coming from? That is probably Prananda's remark. Must be coming from Vishnu Dharmottara itself. Tasyoparishtad aparas tavaneva pramanatah pītabhaumaschatursastu gabhastit talasangyakaha tatraste Bhagavan Vishnu devo hayashirodharaha shashanka shatasankasha shatakumbha vibhushanaha. Above that Patala region is another of the same size called Gabhastitala. This 4th region has ground of a yellow color. There Lord Vishnu lives in his Hayashirsha form, as effulgent as hundreds of moons and adorned with gold ornaments. So this is Hayagreevas. Krishnigarbhasya vasatir brahmano bhuvano pari. Krishnigarbha's residence is above Lord Brahma's planet. Vasas tatra pralambare. Okay, Baladevasya Vasas. Balaram has an abode. Vasas tatra pralambare yatraivaghar report bhavet. The enemy of Pralamba resides in the same place as the enemy of Agha. And that's very nice. Because yatra Gokulado Krishnasya Vasaha Tatraiva iti dvayo nitya samyoga uktaha. Krishna resides in Gokula and so on. So Baladev also resides in Gokula and so on, because both of them are eternally together. So all that is created in Vishnu Dharmatra itself. Very nice. Sri Krishna resides in Gokula and the surrounding areas, and there also resides Lord Balaram. Indeed, the two of them are inseparable. Nano Mahidharinah Sheshasya Kvadhama. Where is the abode of Shesha who holds Bhumandala Ityatraha Etasya? Anticipating this question, he speaks the verse beginning Etasya. Etasyaivaamsha bhutoyam patale vasati swayam nityam taladhvajo vagni vanam mala vibhushitaha dharayat shirasa nityam ratnachitramphana valim langali mushali khadgi nilambara vibhushitaha. A partial expansion of Lord Balaram always resides on Patala Loka. So explicit. Balaram's Amsha is explicit. That Balaram is not limited to Shesha. That is also explicit here. A partial expansion of Lord Balaram always resides on Patala Loka, decorated with garlands of forest flowers and always bearing excellent jewels atop his many hoods. He carries a plow, a club, and a sword, wears blue garments, and has a flag marked with the palm tree. He is an eloquent speaker. Rambaryam Sho Bhudari Sheshas Tad Aveshi Ityarthaha. The Shesha who holds the earth on one of its hoods is an Avesha expansion of Lord Balaram. Vagni, Sanakadin Prati Shri Bhagavatam Kathayan. He's an eloquent speaker because he speaks Shri Bhagavatam to Sanaka and other brothers. He shows his eloquence when he speaks Srimad Bhagavatam to Sanaka Kumara and his brothers. Brahmaloko Parishtacha, Harir Loko Virajate. Above Brahmaloka shines the planet of Lord Hari. Manvantaravatareshu ye chatvara vishishta haryadayah tesham dhamanyah. There were 4 Manvantara avatars who were special, beginning with Lord Hari. Their abodes are now stated in 2.5 verses, beginning with Brahmaloka. This verse begins a description of the abodes of the 4 most eminent Manvantara avatars, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, and Vamana. Swarloke Vasatir Vishnor Vaikunthasya Mahatmanaha Tatha Vaikuntha Loke Cha Swayam Avishkrito Hi Yaha. Lord Vishnu, the great ruler of Vaikuntha, also lives in Swargaloka. On the Vaikuntha planet, he personally revealed within the material world. Ajitasya Nivasastu Dhruvaloke Samarthitaha Bhuvarloke tu Vasatir Vamanasya Mahatmanaha. Lord Ajita has established his residence on Dhruvaloka, and the exalted Lord Vamana lives on Bhuvarloka. So the Supreme Lord himself in Vishnu Tattva forms is everywhere. We come to Trivikramasyaha. Trityaditrayena, in 3 verses beginning with 3. Trivikramasya vasatis tapoloke prakirtita tathasya brahmalokastho divyo narayana ashramaha brahmaloko parishtacha nivaso nena nirmitaha. Lord Trivikrama is said to reside on Tapoloka as well as in the divine Narayana Ashrama on Brahmaloka. Okay, so there is a divine Narayana Ashrama in Brahmaloka. And in the abode he has constructed for himself above Brahmaloka. Hari Vamshe Surendrena Kadito Yas Surarshaya. In the Hari Varsha, in the Harivamsha, the king of the demigods speaks the following to the sage among the demigods. तथा हि idam bhangtva madiyam tu bhagavan vishnuna kritam uparyupari lokanam madhikam bhuvanam mune iti. O powerful sage, Lord Vishnu destroyed my planet and then created a better one above all the other planets. Lord Trivikrama destroyed Indra's Swargaloka when his foot hit it. The planets of the sages, Mahar, Janas, Tapas and Satya are above Swarga. But Lord Trivikrama created several new Swarga planets above all of them. He created several celestial planets. Sarvesham avataranam paravyamni chakasati nivasa Pranavashcharya iti shastri nirupyate. Chakasati. The scriptures inform us that all the Lord's avatars possess supremely wonderful abodes in the spiritual sky. Atha paravyomni sarvesham avataranam dhamani santi iti vyapayitum aha sarvesham. Then he wants to inform us that all of these incarnations have abodes in the spiritual sky. तथा ही पाद्मे वैकुंठ भुवने नित्ये निवसन्ति महोज्ज्वलाः अवतारा सदा तत्र मत्स्य कूर्मादयोखिलाः इति. Thus, in the Padma Purana, all of the Lord's brilliantly effulgent avatars, Matsya, Kurma, and the others, dwell always in the eternal world of Vaikuntha. Tatra Pramanam Vaikunthe iti Sputartha. This is very clear. Iti Ityavatara Tat Sthana Nirupana. This ends the discussion of the avatars and their abodes. We have 11 more verses in the 5th chapter. Chapter 5, Paravasthas and Swayam Bhagavan. Etavata praghattakena Krishnasya Swayam Rupatvam Sri Shadinam Tad Vilasaditvam cha Uktam Tad Dasashno Vishwaksena Yayinaha Vakyam Anuvadan Niraswati Atheti. So far, in this section, in this discussion, it has been pointed out that Krishna is the original form, the husband of Shri, and other such Vishnu Tattva forms are his Vilasa forms and so on. Vishwaksena's followers cannot tolerate this. So he repeats their statements and then refutes it. Vishwaksena is the commander-in-chief of Lord Narayana in the spiritual world. It's commonly known that Ramanujacharya is incarnation of Vishwaksena. And it's also very obvious that they cannot handle this concept. Atha Krishna Narabhratur Avatara iti kvachit Upendrasya iti chakvapi bhatyaso natiko vidam. Now we will discuss how less expert thinkers sometimes consider Krishna an incarnation of Nara's brother and sometimes an incarnation of Lord Upendra. The analysis of the divisions of Godhead that Srila Rupa Goswami has presented establishes that Krishna is the original form of the Supreme and that the husband of Goddess Shri and all other forms of God are his Vilasa, Swamsha and Avesha expansions. Some less expert thinkers, such as the followers of a teacher named Vishwaksena, this is out of great respect, Sri Gopi Prananda doesn't go into further details, say either that Krishna expands from Naranarayana or that he expands from Vamana Deva. There are also we will find even further. The current view of the Shiva is also found elsewhere. It will come. He will present all this. Rupa Goswami will present. So these are all different opinions. It looks like they have been floating around Rupa Goswami's time, or a little before. Nati Kovidam, not very expert. Avicharita Shastranam Apatartha Grahina. Because they did not deliberate on the purport of the scriptures carefully. They simply accepted the apatartha means superficial meaning. Bhati. Tat tat avatarat taya pratito bhavati. This is because Krishna appears to be an incarnation of the brother of Nara, who resides in Badrikashrama, or he appears to be an incarnation of Upendra, Indra's younger brother. Sukovidam tu swayam rupataya nishchito sav. For those who are very expert in the understanding of scriptures, they have come to the conclusion firmly that Krishna is actually Swayam Rupa. Yatha skande dharmaputro hareramsho naranarayanabhidhau chandravamsham manuprapya jato Krishna arjunavubhau. We find in the Skanda Purana, when Krishna and Arjuna took birth in the dynasty of the moon god, the expansions of Lord Hari, known as Nara and Narayana, the sons of Dharma, joined with them. Tad anuyayinaha bhramakani vakyanyaha dharmeti. These are all statements which have been misunderstood by the followers of Sri Vishwakshena. Purupaksharthas putaha vastavarthastu Krishnarjano kartaro dharmaputro naranarayano karmani prapya atmasatkritya chandravamsham anujata iti. The superficial meaning is the two sons of Dharma are portions of Lord Hari. They are named Nara and Narayana. When they descended in the dynasty of the moon god, they were born as Krishna and Arjuna. A follower of Vishwaksena might mistakenly think that this verse supports the conclusion that Krishna expands from Naranarayana. But a closer study reveals a more accurate translation. Krishna and Arjuna are the subjects of the sentence. Nara and Narayana are the objects. Since the dual forms ending in au can be either subject or object, we must consider logical and contextual factors to distinguish the subject from the object. These are all straight from Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan. Swayam Bhagavat Yavatirne Tat Swamsha Tasmin Pravishanti iti Nirnayat. Because when the Swayam Bhagavan incarnates, his Swamshas enter into him. That has been separately concluded. Taviti. What's that? No. It's coming. In light of the unassailable presentation by Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, Prapya can be taken to mean accepting within themselves. The verse indicates then that Krishna and Arjuna took birth in the Chandravamsha and that their partial expansions, Narayana and Nara Rishis, entered within them to take part in their pastimes. That is the Vastavartha, the factual meaning, not the superficial meaning. Okay. Shri Chaturthecha. ताविमौ वै भगवतो हरेरंशा विघाततो भारव्ययाय च भुवः कृष्णौ यदुकुरुद्वहौ. And in the fourth canto, those two expansions of Hari, Nara and Narayana, have now appeared in the forms of the two Krishnas, the best of the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru, to mitigate the burden of the world. The two Krishnas are, Arjuna is also called Krishna. So the best of the dynasty of Yadu is Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. And the best of the dynasty of Kuru is Arjuna, the son of Pandu. So this is a superficial meaning. This, okay, let's. Hare Shri Kshiradhipate Amsho Naran Narayana Iha Murloke Agato Tasya Bharatyaya Krishna Vasudevajana Abhutamiti Purvapakshayartha. Vastavarthastu Tau Hareramsho Naran Narayana Kartaro Iha Dwaparante Krishna Agato Pravishto. The factual meaning of this statement is Nara and Narayana, they are the subjects of this sentence. At the end of Dwapara, they have entered into the two Krishnas. Vasudeva and Narayana. Narayana entered into Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. Arjuna into Naraha, Pravisha. Whereas Nara entered into Arjuna. This verse might seem to say that Narayana and Nara, the expansions of Lord Kshiradvasayi Vishnu, appeared as Vasudeva and Arjuna to relieve the earth from the burden of demoniac kings. The accurate reading, however, is that, reading means meaning, however, is that Nara and Narayana have now entered the bodies of Arjuna and Krishna. Etat upad Shri Dashame. The support for this is found in the 10th canto. Sampujya Devar Shivaryam Rishih Purano Narayano Narasakho Vidhino Ditena Vanya Vibhashya Nirayamrita Mishtayatam Praha Prabho Bhagavate Karavama He Kim. This evidence is found in the 10th canto after fully worshipping Narada, the best of sages, according to Vedic injunctions. Lord Krishna, who is the original sage, who is Narayana, and who is the friend of Nara, conversed with Narada in thoughtful words, as sweet as nectar. Finally, the Lord asked Narada, "What may we do for you, our Lord and Master?" Narayana, Narasakha. So this is talking about Krishna. Krishna is talking to Narada, and he's referred to as Narayana, the friend of Nara. So they think, here there's a directly it says that Narayana, the friend of Nara, was talking to Narada Muni like this. Vastavarthastu Sarvatatvashrayatvat Narayana. Because but in reality, here Narayana does not refer to Narayana Rishi. Krishna is not identified with Narayana Rishi here, rather because he is the shelter of all the truths, all the elements, all entities. He is referred to as Narayana. Kalpadau Brahmanepi Upadeshyatvat Purana Rishi. And at the beginning of Brahma's day, because he had instructed Brahma, he is the ancient sage, in the sense that he taught Brahma. Naraihi sartham viha ritvat narasakha. Narasakha refers to Shri Krishna because Lord Shri Krishna, he sports with human beings. Nara means a human being. Shri Krishna, Devaha, Kshatrilatva. The word Deva in this verse indicates that he was very playful. He was playing like Kshatriya. Rishivaryam Naradam Uditena Vidhina Sampujyeti Anyat Prakata. Even by definition, Shri Krishna is Narayana because he is the source and shelter of everything that exists. He is the original sage because at the beginning of the Kalpa, he imparted knowledge to Lord Brahma. He is Narasakha, the friend of human beings, because he is eager to reveal his pleasure pastimes in his human-like form. He is Deva, a greatly effulgent lord, especially in his Leela as a Kshatriya. Deva can mean effulgent. Deva can mean one who sports also. So in that way, here, Rishi Purana, the primeval sage, Narayana, the friend of Nara, refers to actually Krishna. Krishna is the primeval sage who instructed Brahma even. Krishna in the form of Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan instructed Brahma. That we find in Gopala Tapani Upanishad, evidence. And Narayana is also a name of Krishna himself. Sri Baladevi Debushan points this out in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 8. Brahmanyo Devati Putro, Brahmanyo Madhusudana. There is an Upanishad which describes about Narayana specifically. And there, Narayana has been identified as a son of Devaki. Narayana is the name of Krishna actually. He's a friend of Nara. Nara means a human being. He's a friend of all Naras, all human beings. He plays with human beings when he incarnates in his original form. उपेन्द्रावतारत्वं च यथा हरिवंश एवं बदरीपत्यवतारत्वं कृष्णस्य उक्त्वा उपेन्द्रावतारत्वम् आह. So he has presented the idea of these other Vaishnavas who think that Krishna is an incarnation of the Lord of Badri. And now he is presenting the idea that Krishna is an incarnation of Vamana. Upendra avataratvam cha yatha harivamshe shakravachane Aindram Vaishnava Masyaiva Mune Bhagam Aham Dadau Yavi Yam Samaham Premna Krishnam Pashyami Narada Iti. Indra speaks of Krishna as an incarnation of Upendra in the Harivamsha. O sage, in the Indra sacrifice, I give Krishna the portion of oblations meant for Lord Vishnu. I love Krishna, O Narada, because I see him as my younger brother. Parijata Prasange Shakravakya. Okay. So this is all in relationship with Parijata. That was a big episode. In Bhagavatam, it is recounted briefly. In Harivamsha, in much more detail. So at that time, Indra spoke to Narada Muni this. Vaishnava Bhagamaham Asyaiva Dadau Iti Bhagam Vishinashti Andra Indranamaya Chitam. So I have given Vamana's offering to Krishna. Iti Mahat Anukulyam Matkritam. So in that way, I have rendered a great favor to this Krishna. Atha pratikula dhyamapi tamaham na dveshmi. But even though he thinks contrary to my mind, I don't hate him. Javiyamsam, Upendram, Krishnam, Premna Pashyami. Jeshtasya kanishte prema drishtireva yukta iti. Because I see him as my younger brother, Upendra, out of affection. It is appropriate that the elder brother looks at, considers his, looks at his younger brother with affection, meaning that he should deal with his younger brother with affection, with affectionate tolerance and so on. Parijatasya Devatarutva. Bhurloke tasya pradhanam na yuktam iti bhavam. So he implies that the Parijata is a tree for the Devas. So it is not appropriate to give it to the earthly planet, Bhurloka. Asya agrahana vastavartho noktava. Since Krishna is Indra's younger brother as Vamana Deva, Indra is affectionate toward him even when there is cause for quarrel. The above statement was made during the incident when Krishna took the heavenly Parijata tree from Swargaloka to Dwaraka. It is forbidden to bring the Parijata flower to earth. Therefore, Indra felt obliged to refuse Krishna's request and oppose any attempt to take the tree by force. The Vedic sacrifice known as Indra was first performed by Indra. During this sacrifice, the portion of oblations that Indra previously offered to Lord Vishnu, he now offers to Vamana, whom he identifies with Krishna. Less intelligent persons may speculate that this indicates that Krishna expands from Lord Vamana, but Indra does not make clear which of the two he considers the original. तदेतदुभयत्वं न भवेत् कृष्णे विरोधतः अंशत्वं हि तयोरुक्तं परावस्थत्वम् अस्य तु. Krishna's identification with both these avatars is not at all contradictory. The two are said to be expansions of Krishna, the Paravastha, complete form of the Supreme Lord. Idam sthulajyam matam nirakaroti. Tadetadit. So this opinion of those with gross intelligence is now being refuted. Tadetad ubhayatvam na bhavet Krishne. These two cannot be applied to Krishna because they contradict Shastra. Na bhavet. Why not? Tatraha amshatvam hiti. Tayoho badrisho upendrayoho. Because these two, the Lord of Badri and Upendra, have been described as amshas, paravasthatvam asyatu, whereas Krishna is described in the Shastra as a paravastha form. Nara bhratu rishamshatvam ete chamsheti vakshiyate, upendrasya tathatvam cha harivamshepi drishyate. That the brother of Nara is a partial expansion of Krishna can be understood from the verse beginning Ete Chamsha Kalah. That Lord Upendra is a partial expansion can be seen in the Harivamsha. It can even be seen in Harivamsha. Tatha hi Devarshi Vachanam. Aditya tapasa Vishnur Mahatma Aradhitah Purah. Varena Chandita Tena Parittushtena Chaditihi. Tayoktastva Drishyam Putram Michamiti Surottama. There in the Harivamsha, we find a statement by Devarshi Narada. Long ago, Aditi worshipped the Supreme Soul Vishnu by performing austerities. Satisfied with her effort, the Lord delighted Aditi by offering her a benediction of her choice. She told him, "O leader of the demigods, I want a son just like you. Vadrishyam Putram, a son like you." So why should be capital? तेनोक्तं भुवने नास्ति मत्समः पुरुषो परः अंशेन तु भविष्यामि पुत्र खल्वहमेव ते इति. He replied, "There is no other person equal to me in the universe. However, I will personally become your son through my partial expansion." Now, this is stated by Narada Muni. Since Narada Muni is more enlightened in spiritual knowledge than the king of heaven, his statement about Lord Vamana should be considered more accurate than Indra's. In other words, when you have a situation like this, then this statement has to be taken with its superficial meaning. There are various considerations. Who is speaking the statement and all that. Then the other statement has to be taken in the non-literal sense. Atha Krishne paravastha bhavo gre vakshyate sputam paravasthascha sampurnavastha shastre prakirtitah tasmadam shattumevasya viruddham sputamikshiyate. Later on, we will clearly show that Krishna is a paravastha form of the Supreme Lord. According to Shastra, the paravasthas are the most complete forms of God. In light of this, it would obviously be contradictory to call Krishna a partial expansion. Nanu amshamshah Krishne astu iti chet. Okay, why not? Why can't it be that a portion of the portion is in Krishna? Okay, why is it? Now Krishna can be a portion of a portion. That possibility is there. Tatraha atheti tasmat paravasthat eva asya Krishnasya tad ubhayamshatvam viruddham asangatam. After hearing from scripture that Vamana Deva is a Swamsha expansion of the Supreme Lord, someone might still think that Krishna could be an Amsha of an Amsha. To counter this, Srila Rupa Goswami will present his main thesis. Krishna is the principal Paravastha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Once this thesis is proven, all proposals that he is only an Amsha will be silenced. No. Sorry. Last. There are, because of the existence of several statements that Krishna belongs to the Paravastha category of Godhead. He will show. He will deal with these other statements that say that he is the son of Dharma, the son of that he is Narayana Rishi. We deal with those statements. Arthagatyantaram desham vachananam cha drishyate. We can discover other explanations for the above quoted statements. Since there is so much evidence in Srimad Bhagavatam and other devotion scriptures that Krishna is a supreme form of God, the statements that seem to call Krishna an Amsha need to be re-examined. That's correct. Beautifully stated. Srila Rupa Goswami will now decipher the precise understanding of each of these verses. Okay.